And if you want an even more in-depth video about models and DTOs and all of that stuff about Swift and SwiftUI, go and check out Rebeloper.com and book a mentoring session with me. Now today we are going to talk about DTOs. Now what is a DTO? It's a domain transfer object. So when you are grabbing your data from your server, you don't want to put it into your models explicitly. You want to have some sort of a bridge, a domain transfer object, and you are going to map that domain transfer object onto your domain. And when we are going to send some data to the server, you are just going to create your domain model. You are going to map it onto your DTO, and you are going to send it away. Now, this is really a good idea because of how safe it is, how versatile it is. And to better understand this, we are going to create a dummy project. So what we have over here is just a simple starter project. And let's just type out our simple user. So let's just have a domain model, so struct. Let's just have a user and let ID of type int, and then we would just have let name of type string, and let email maybe of type string, and then one quirkiness, and this is where the mapping will be really important, created at of type date. Okay, so this is what we are going to use in our project. This is a really useful Swift struct because date is a Swift type. Now, most probably you're not going to get this date, from your server. You are going to get a string. So let me just copy this and create our user DTO, so domain transfer object. It will be Codable. And instead of date, we're going to get back a string. And maybe you are not going to get these as name or email created at. It's not going to be camel case. It could be snake case. So let's just add in here our coding keys. So case ID, that's fine. And then case name. Let's just have maybe full name underscore name, just like that. And then case email. It would be something like, email address, just like that. That was suggested. Address, just like that. And then case created at. We are going to add created at, just like that. So simple as that. We are going to grab our JSON and put it into the user DTO. We are going to map it into our user and use it inside our application. And when we are going to send it, is the other way around. We're going to create a user, map it into a user DTO with a mapper, and we're going to send it away for our server. Now we need to create our mapper. You could just add an extension on these models, but I found it a little bit easier and more logical to just create our own separate mapper and use that. Okay, so let's create that struct called user mapper. There we go. And we're going to have a formatter created right over here. We are going to deal with strings. That's the whole point over here with a mapper from date to string and string to date. So let's create our private let formatter and private. Let's just have a T over there. And that would be of type ISO and all of that. We don't need to initialize that. It's just going to be initialized within our custom init. There we go. And we are going to say formatter equals ISO date formatter. And then you can just add in here some format options. This is, again, optional. But let's just add it with internet date time, and let's just have also with dot with fractional seconds, just like that. Okay, So next, we want to add those two functionalities. So from domain to our DTO, from domain to our DTO and DTO to domain, but the naming is quite complicated. So first of all, we are going to have a DTO to domain and then the other way around. So the function will be called domain because that's what we want to grab, domain, and then from our DTO, and this will be a user DTO, and it will return a user. And then we're going to tackle the other one around. So this is going to be a user, and we're going to need all of those. And we are just going to have DTO, we're just going to map it, right? DTO ID, DTO dot name, DTO dot email. On the created ad, we are going to say formatter dot date from DTO dot created ad, and this will be an optional, otherwise we're going to have a date. Great. So here you can see that this is the logic. This is how we are going to transform our string into a date. So now it's time to do this the other way around. So we're going to have a function called DTO from domain. That's great. And yeah, I think it's auto-completing it correctly. So domain ID, domain name, and email. Okay. And then the formatter string from domain created it, because this is actually a date. Okay. So now that we have this, we can wrap all of this thing into our view model and create our load user and our send user functionality. So I'm just going to scroll a little bit up and create an observable. There we go. Final class and then user view model. There we go. That's great. It's not going to be observable object. That is old stuff. We are going to need a user. So var user, and it is optional, you know, at first when we are launching the app, it's non-existent. So in order to make our UI safe, this is going to be optional. And then we are going to also create our mapper right over here. So private let mapper, that will be a user mapper. Oh, sorry. We need to initialize it. So equals user mapper, and then our load user function comes first. Func load user, and yeah, I'm not going to fetch anything. I'm just going to type out our dummy JSON right over here. So let JSON equals, and I just have these free quotes. That means that now I can just type it in line, and then we will just have ID. That will be, let's just say 1, comma, and then let's just have a full underscore name. Remember, it's the snake-cased version, and that will be Ada, and then we are going to have a email underscore address. Okay, and that would be, I don't know, Alex at rebeloper.com, something like that. And then our created at, and this is a little bit hard, so I'm just going to copy this out. So 2026, and then -05 10. Oh, we need that also, and then capital T, and then the time. I don't know. Let's just go with noon. I don't know, 12, and then 00. Well, we can just go with 10. Let's just say get our current time, 14, 32, and then 0, 0, 0.000 and Z. Okay, so this would be our JSON. Next, we need to grab the data from our JSON. So it would be let data equals data, and I'm just going to go with JSON.utf8, and then a do catch statement to map it into our DTO. So do and catch, and I'm just going to print out for now. You could just make sure that this is properly handling the errors, but for now I'm just going to print out a decoder error, and then let's just add our error over here, and let DTO equals try JSON decoder decode user DTO self from data. Yes, that's correct. And then I'm just going to put it into our user, and we're going to use our mapper domain from DTO. So this is how we are going to load our user. Now let's see how we are going to send it. It's kind of the other way around. So let's create our function first. Func send user. Okay. And first of all, we want to make sure that we do have an actual user. So we're going to guard against that. Guard let user, else let's just simply return. Okay. And then we are going to create a DTO from our actual user. So let DTO equals mapper DTO from user. Okay, and then again the do catch statement. Do catch, and we are going to add in encode error. So print encode error, and we're just going to pass that along. Okay, so what do we do right over here? First of all, we need to create an encoder. So let encoder equals our JSON encoder. That's fine. And then we need to specify our output formatting. So encoder.output formatting. Yeah, I'm just going to have also sorted keys. Let's just add in here. This is optional, but I highly recommend it. So sorted keys, that's right. And then we are going to grab our data. So let data, yes, try encoder, encode DTO. And then we are going to have our string. So let's just have this on the same line. Well, no new lines. Let JSON string. That is string from data encoding UTF. Otherwise, yeah, you can just go with an empty string right over here, but that's okay. And then we're just going to print our JSON string. We're not going to send it anywhere, but yeah, that's the whole point. Okay, so now it's time to wrap all of this thing up so you can see it in action. So I'm just going to scroll all the way up to my VStack, and yeah, let's just add some buttons and all of that stuff. So first of all, we want to make sure if there is a user, then we are going to present the user. So I believe this is a good time to show the canvas. Let's just have that reloaded, but till it's reloading, let's just add in some code. So if let user equals, you need a view model first. So we are going to have a @state private var view model, and that is our user view model. That's great. And then our view model.user. If that is the case, we are going to show our user, else we are going to say text no user loaded, no user loaded. Okay, so now you should see that. No user loaded. Great. So we want to use this user right over here. We are going to say text user dot, let's just go with the name, and then that would be a font of title. And let's also have our email, so text user email. Yes, that's great. And then also text, let's see, created at, yeah, I think that is great, but the formatter is not that convenient. I'm just going to type this out in the shorter way. So I'm just going to say user dot created at. This is a date, and I'm just going to have a dot formatted. Okay, and let's just have a dot font dot caption, whatever you feel like it. Okay, so that is if we are having a user, but currently, as you can see, we do not have one. So let's add in some buttons. So first of all, we want to load the user, and then we are going to send that user. So let's just create a button with a title like load user, and then the action would be our ViewModel dot load user. Simple as that. Okay, and then another button, a button of not load user, but we are going to rename that like send user, and then ViewModel dot send user. Okay, so what we need to do now, it has refreshed. We want to tap on load user, and it should change the user. Let me just see if we did that correctly. Okay, after further investigation, I found out that I do need to add these two curly braces, of course, and then I had a typo right over here. Okay, now it should load the user. There we go, Ada, alex@rebeloper.com, and this is our time. Now, what we want to do is send the user, and let's take a look at the logs, and there we go. We have created an email address, full name, and our date. Really, really nice. So this is how you would just use a DTO. If you want me to go more in depth, go ahead and check out Rebeloper.com, where you can meet me on a one-on-one Zoom call, and we can talk all about this SwiftUI. I will meet you there.